Hello, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everybody else under the rainbow of our wonderful community. How are you doing today? We're back with some more Belle Automata. Twitch chat is saying hi to you. It would be rude not to say hi back. I'm gonna be totally honest. I think someone even called out that, you know, like YouTube doesn't say hi back, so get rude. See, Jervis and Dawn have some kind of feud going on, and I'm here for it. You know it's very hard for me to English, okay? Okay, March 31st. Okay, it's this one. It's 5 minutes later. That's right! I didn't know! I didn't know! I don't know if I'm making the right moves. That's where we left off. I don't know if I'm making the right moves. As always, chat, let me know if how the sound is, okay? Future me says hi back. Oh, man. But we left on such a good, like... I don't know note with Victor, and I just want to know more, because my man. My man? My android. Maybe that's more correct. It's a rare day that I don't spend at Victor's side maintaining the house, but at last I have a day to myself doing what I do best. Sewing. I'm mending some miscellaneous things from around the house that Victor's collected for me. A shirt for the Nightmare Prince, a rug that's been left outside too long, sheets from Diego's bedroom, curtains from the library. The list goes on.
At least it's something I enjoy this time.
Not to say that I don't enjoy cleaning, but a part of me wonders why I go along with Victor's antics. Really? Does it? I specifically chose this path for us. Rev, you and me are in together on this. Like, I'll tell, if you really want to know, I'll tell you why. Is it because I enjoy being teased? A part of me is certain that's it, but isn't that a bit strange?
Is this you now, Rev? A masochist in the end?
Beginning, middle, end. Everywhere in between. You get used to it after a while.
Masochist? Really?
Phew! I decide not to explain further, instead avoiding the thought with a greeting.
Thank you.
Hello.
There's a pause for a moment.
I was listening for you.
I almost pricked myself in surprise.
Me? Why?
I don't know. It's rare to see you alone, so I just thought maybe you'd like company?
I love Q.
Oh, I see. Actually, I wouldn't mind it, no. It's a good distraction from my thoughts, I think.
Oh?
He falls silent.
I know it won't get your mind off of things. The opposite, in fact. But maybe I can help? Is it about Victor?
It is, yes. I'd ask how you know, but I have a feeling you've been listening in on us anyway.
Q lets out an... I really can't English today, oh my god. Q lets out an awkward laugh.
Guilty.
Then you know what I'm about to ask, don't you?
Sorry, no. I'm not a mind reader.
I frown, increasing the zoom to observe the stitchwork in my lap.
What does Victor think of me? Don't answer that. That's not the real question anyway.
Continuing to sew again, I smiled timidly.
I hugged Diego and Victor saw. It might sound simple, but I can't help but wonder. Was Victor jealous? And why did I want him to be so badly?
Have a good night, Mizuka! Off to optician. Be safe. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. There's something about Victor that pulls me in, and I don't quite know why. Is this?
A malfunction of some sort?
Alright. If I may say something.
Yes? I nod idly.
Go ahead. I'm just rambling at this point.
Have you considered that you're, you know, attracted to Victor?
Attracted? His suggestion stuns me into silence.
You know, like...
I know what attracted means. Am I attracted to Victor? Well...
The answer seems to be that, well, I am. But...
Why?
Honestly, girl, I ask myself the same thing, okay? Every love interest, I'm like, why? Why you, okay? I can't help but blurt out my honest thoughts. So, when I played a little bit of this game before it was kind of released, right? And I actually did the Nightmare Prince Q's route a little bit. And when I started going Victor's route with this play, I was actually really concerned that I wouldn't get the relationship. Obviously, in this case, I wanted a friendship between Q and Arev because their interactions, even in the romantic moments, just, I was like, these two would be such good friends. And, like, they just help each other in a lot of ways, right? And so I was really hoping for that in Victor's route, and I'm getting it, and I'm here for it, okay? Like, what Miss Chouette told us before, like, Arev's, like, one of the oldest, if not the oldest in the entire house. Like, she's older than everyone kind of thing. But to me, I don't know why, but Q and Arev are, like, I don't know, like, the youngest, and kind of like got this sibling best friend energy, and I love it. I think in the little snapshot thing that I did, I think Q was my bestie, and I was like, this is it. This is right. This is exactly as it should be.
Why would I be attracted to Victor? All he does is make me work and...
If it helps, I don't think attraction is one of those things that always makes sense.
A thing that even a human couldn't quite quantify? And of course, I'm experiencing it.
Maybe I should talk to Klaus again.
Klaus! Why can I remember Champion? I could not remember his first name.
It's been a little while.
While I can readily admit that I'm not equipped for this exactly, I do have something to say.
Go for it.
If you have questions about Victor, maybe you should talk to him.
Yeah, Q becoming like my favorite character. I frown.
In theory, that sounds fine, but...
What is it?
Victor is never direct about anything.
True!
I asked him straight up if he was jealous, and not only did he say no, but he made me clean for 3 hours.
In hindsight, if you're a masochist, and we know we don't like cleaning, maybe Victor was jealous and he's just a sadist. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna put that out there. And I'm being told by the dev that yes, he was in fact jealous.
Ah, I missed that conversation, it seems. Victor is not really emotional, so I don't think getting emotional answers out of him is really... likely.
What does that mean?
Maybe he doesn't feel jealousy in the way that you do. Or in the way that you would want him to. That doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings for you.
Q, what do you know that you're not telling me? He pauses.
Wow. This is weird.
I finished the shirt I was repairing, holding it up to inspect my work.
What is?
I was, I've known Victor since I was little. Been practically raised by him, even. So talking about him like this kind of makes me feel a little strange.
Ah, I see.
Is it so strange? I wonder silently in spite of my affirmative answer.
Anyway, I'm still team talk to Victor.
I press my lips together, my silence serving as an answer.
What? Is he really so awful?
If he was, we wouldn't like him.
Not awful, but I'm more comfortable with a guy who calls himself the Nightmare Prince than I am with talking to Victor about, well, feelings.
Maybe you're just scared because you want him to like you.
I answer weakly, looking at my feet.
Maybe.
In truth, it hadn't occurred to me that that could be possible. And if it was, what do androids do if they fall in love? Can an android even experience a relationship in that way? Maybe not in the same way as a human, but at all? I can only wonder. I stand folding the shirt dutifully.
All right, that does it.
What?
I'll talk to him.
Let's go, girl.
Or I would talk to him if he was anywhere to be found.
Zaffre lets out a laugh as he strums his guitar.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just amazed that you're spending this much time stressing about King Grump when you could be relaxing with my melodies.
I want to understand where we stand. I want to understand him.
I trail off silently, considering.
Ew.
Zaffre!
He sticks out his tongue at me, strumming another chord.
It's been 3 days since I swore to Q I would talk to Victor, and I haven't managed to say a thing.
Why? Hi, Chimeri! I appreciate the lurk. I hope you're having a great day, my friend.
Q? Who's Q?
Oh, did I not mention that I've been talking to the Nightmare Prince? Because, yeah, that's totally been happening.
Zaffre's eyes widen at me as his jaw drops.
The Nightmare Prince? You mean, you got an actual conversation out of that guy?
I did. Even though I'm still not sure what sort of person he is. He seems...
I pause, trying to think of a good way to describe the prince.
nice. But don't get distracted from the matter at hand. I'm really torn about this whole Victor
I gesture wildly.
thing.
Zaffre looks at me with a small smile.
Maybe it's not as complicated as you think. Maybe Victor's just avoiding you.
Why? Why? Why would you even say that?
Why would he do that?
Zaffre shrugs.
Dunno. I always bump into him when I want to see him least, which is always. So hearing that you can't find him sounds pretty weird. Anyway, enough about Victor. Let's talk about... well... Victor, actually. Do you want to work on your song about him?
I shake my head slowly.
Why not? We didn't work on it last time either, and I'd like to get that piece over and done with if you don't mind.
I echo Zaffre quietly to myself.
Why not?
Why don't I want to work on Victor's song? It's been all I can think about ever since that first lyric popped into my head, but now my mind is as tangled as an unforgiving knot on the loom. Is Victor avoiding me? Why would he be avoiding me? Did I offend him in some way? Does he know I'm making a song about him and it's weirding him out? Or am I overthinking it? I let out an uncomfortable chuckle.
Look, Zaffre, I don't want to think about Victor. I've been doing that enough lately.
Zaffre lowers the guitar in his hands.
What?
Honestly, I would have been happy to hear you give up on this little love song dedicated to your boy toy, but...
He sighs, putting the instrument aside.
as much as it pains me to say it because I could not care less about Victor, I mean, really, there is not a single bolt in my body that cares.
Oh, God damn it, I love Zaffre.
Zaffre.
You've just worked so hard on this, Bluebird. It would be a waste to give up on your musical endeavor now, so I'll bite. What's going on?
I look down at the keyboard.
I think I'm...
Come on, spit it out!
I think I'm attracted to Victor.
No, he's gonna be like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yikes, that was much harder than it should have been. And Arev, obviously. I mean, do I know, understand, or want to understand it? Not in the slightest. But I thought you would have already figured it out by now.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I have now, but I admit it's kind of, taken a while.
Zaffre stares at me as I let the words sink in. I can't believe I'm admitting it out loud. I'm attracted to Victor.
Are you sure it's not a malfunction?
Malfunction? I stare at him in confusion.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's Victor. All he does is boss us around.
Yeah?
And he butt into our jam session.
Only sort of. I wanted him to come.
And he insulted me! To my face!
What does that have to do with me?
She really said, that sounds like a you problem.
Nothing, but you should back me up anyway.
I'm not sure those are all factors in this.
Do you want to be with a guy who insults your friends?
Well, no, but...
Maybe you're just thinking about him a lot because you're spending so much time with him lately.
I nod slowly.
I have been around him a lot.
Personally, I think it's a malfunction. Or at least a misinterpretation. A cutie and a snooty just don't mix.
A cutie and a snooty? A cutie and a snooty? Before I can really analyze his word choice, Zaffre pats me gently.
Do you know that it's not a malfunction?
Yes? No? I don't know, Zaffre, I don't.
I press my hands to my optical interface. Am I just malfunctioning? My feelings did feel real, but even I'm not sure what they mean. I look down at the keyboard, pressing out the intro keys to Victor's song.
I really don't.
Well, if he's really avoiding you and it's not a malfunction and you really do like him, then I want you to know that he doesn't deserve you.
If Zaffre wasn't a love interest, I'd be like, yo, that is gay best friend energy right there. I smile tentatively.
Thanks, Zaffre.
Almost anything for you, Bluebird. Now,
He strums out a melody.
I want to hear an E major scale pronto.
Everyone says that. I mean, it's just the timing of it, honestly. I really like it. Again, it's comments like that. I like it when other options become really good friends. So the fact that Zaffre's showing me this side of him, I'm kind of like, yo, I'm actually kind of looking forward to romancing you in Chronicle 2, so... I returned to my room feeling fulfilled after our jam session.
I feel so much better.
I sit down on my bed, looking around the empty room when I hear the sound of someone clearing their throat above me.
Hey, Q.
Hey,
What's up?
not much. Just, not much.
The room falls silent as I look down at my finger joints, wiping dust from between them.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Victor?
I shake my head.
Aref? I can't see you, so if you reacted...
I haven't. Sorry. No. And I don't think I will.
Q sputters above me.
Why not? I thought we had a breakthrough. If it's because you still think Victor's scary, then...
It's not because I think Victor's scary.
Then... what is it?
Zaffre's voice appears in my mind. Are you sure it's not a malfunction?
I'm just not sure.
Not sure about what?
About anything. I'm worried that this is all in my head, that I'm just making this up and opening myself up to trauma.
Q is silent for a long moment. I get the feeling that he's holding something in. I think he won't say anything else when he suddenly bursts out.
You should.
What does he know about trust? Wow! No! Why would you say that? Because I know it's gonna be something like, what does he know about trust? You don't let anyone see your face, and like, you know, half of the robots here don't even speak to you kind of thing. But no, he's put so much trust into us as it is. I'm gonna tell him he's right. I'm gonna save it. And then I'm gonna tell him he's right. I'm running out of slots. I gotta start overwriting. I'm not gonna do that to him. No. Tell him he's right.
You're probably right, Q. I probably should trust myself more, but I just can't. There's too many factors, too many things that I just don't know.
Like what?
Like Victor's feelings. Like my own. Like what they would even mean for our future and what I want from it all. They're not questions that can be answered easily. And not only that, but...
I trail off.
Look, Q. I know I should just trust myself, but that's an easy thing to say and a hard thing to do in these circumstances. How can I trust an unstable surface?
I guess finding the answers is the best you can do.
I take a deep breath to recenter myself. Even if I don't need to, the extra air on my cooling fans helps me calm down.
I know you want to help, and that's really sweet of you, Q. But this isn't a simple matter of two humans falling for each other. Just know that maybe it doesn't matter.
I stare down at my fingers, eyes tracing each joint.
Maybe it doesn't matter whether I'm attracted to him or whether it's a malfunction or whatever. I should be focusing on more important things, like finding my place, growing into the person I want to be.
Q is so quiet for a moment, I think he's already gone. But then I hear his quiet voice filled with hope.
But what if your place is with Victor?
Q, my man! Good. Good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. I press my lips together. Thought of having a place again and knowing what that feels like. It's nice. It simply isn't my reality.
I had a soulmate once. A creative one. I used to think my place was at his side. And now, he's gone. I just want to go to sleep, Q.
Alright. Good night, RF.
The presence above me vanishes. Or at least I hope it does. Despite wanting to move on from this, I do want to find out if Victor is avoiding me or not. I want to tell him not to worry. Knowing Victor, he's just observant and giving me space to get over whatever this is, malfunction or otherwise. I lay down on the bed, shutting my eyes. I used up a lot of power playing music today, and I hope to do so even more tomorrow. In a way, this is what this is what people do now, in a sense. Like, whether it's how do I say this? Like, whether it's you're scared or whether you don't know or something, a lot of people, or like, when I was newly single and I like being in relationships, so I took, you know, the time to be sad for myself, and then I was like, you know what, I'm ready to go date again. And everyone told me, well, just love yourself, be on your own, like, adventure, do your own thing. And I'm like, well, the thing that I learned from my last relationship was doing my own thing doesn't need to stop when I'm in a relationship. Like, that's the big thing that I really learned from that. And I sometimes think if you don't want to be in a relationship, then that's totally fine. You do want to work on yourself and just completely work on yourself, that's totally fine. I'm not saying that's not good and not okay. Do whatever the fuck you want. But sometimes people use that as a do what I want to do what I want to do, better myself kind of thing, as a way to kind of stop them from falling in love and taking chances. And I kind of think Rev is doing that a little bit, that she's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know my feelings. So, and again, Q's point is, what if your place is meant to be with Victor? And I think it's, yeah, like, you can have your self-growth, but don't let it always stand in the way of, like, don't be like, no, I can't try to date and stuff because I need to better myself first. Like, you can do both. Like, that's the healthiest part, is being like, I need time to be with you and I need time to be with myself, which is something that I try to do now. So it's kind of nice seeing the side of a Rev being like, someone telling her, like, maybe it's a malfunction. Someone else, like, cheering her on, like, just talk to him. And her being like, maybe I just need to grow myself first. And so these are, like, actual real life issues that we come up with when we're, like, starting new relationships and stuff. Hydrate! Andrea, good evening! Welcome back, Doris. You don't need to like Sobble because I love him and that's all that matters. Talking to people about stuff is scary. Oh my god, absolutely. But also my anxiety is like, if I don't talk to them, I will never be able to sleep again. Oof. Oof, so good. On my way to the library, I walk through the common room and bump into a familiar face. Diego?
Hello, Rev. Having a good day?
Got him! I haven't spoken to him since our hug. I try not to appear as awkward as I feel.
I'm, having a great one, actually.
Have you seen Victor lately?
Is he avoiding both of them? Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? The abrupt question makes me pause. I answer slowly.
No. Why?
As I thought.
As you thought?
Oh, it's nothing. Just, he was asking for you earlier. He needs you in the garden.
He was asking for me, Diego. Why couldn't he just ask me himself? Diego, are you playing wingman for us? Are you probably not trying to help me out, buddy? This just got very interesting. It went too long without Victor, and now I'm very excited. I can't help but be tempted not to go. I don't want to see Victor if it means I'll have to feel so out of sorts with myself. Still, my traitorous heartcore speeds up at the thought of seeing him after these few days apart.
Does it have to be me? Can you go instead?
Nope, has to be you.
What'd you do? What's going on? I sigh reluctantly, even as my curiosity gets the better of me, leading my feet away.
I'll be right back.
He's smiling though, that's a good sign.
Diego, it is this door that needs to be fixed.
Diego. Oh, Diego. Diego. You just went up like so many points in my book, honey. He just did it all. So, witcheroo, I'm gonna send you instead of me because I know you two need to talk. Oh, Diego, baby, boy. Good job. I love this ship that everyone in this house, save for Zaffre, but I think Zaffre is more of the, like, I'll hand you the nails, but I'm not nailing it in myself kind of thing. Like, I'm here to make sure she's safe and protected. But I love this ship that everyone is building together. I want to hear you sob. What? No. Okay, wait, there's like 50 seconds left in the ads on Twitch. Let me get the dev back in here. If you guys are watching the ads, or if you're over on YouTube watching the VODs and you've watched the ads in chat, I appreciate you. The ship that automatons built. I'm waiting. Thank you for letting her know. Oh man, when the dev says, I want to hear you sob. You're back. Okay. Oh, ooh, okay. Well, first off, I was just gushing over the fact that Diego just, like, wingmanned us in here, so good on him. He's gotten some major points in my book. Okay. Okay, shit's about to go down. I'm excited. My makeup's gonna be ruined and I'm here for it. He speaks without turning. A quiet clicking sound heard instead of opening. It apparently has a faulty door panel.
Do you hear this sound? It's this exact sound that is the problem.
I missed his voice.
I'm not Diego.
Victor freezes in place almost imperceptibly. He turns towards me.
What are you doing here?
It's dark for you, honey. His icy demeanor doesn't intimidate me. I simply step further out into the garden, drawing closer to him with my heart core humming noisily in my chest. If this is a malfunction, I don't mind it at all. I feel my gaze taking in a sharp form. Every stitch, every hem, every knot, down to the ribbon tying his hair back. It wasn't that long at all, but I missed looking at him. Girl, same, okay? Freaking same.
Rev, did you hear me?
I did. Diego told me that you wanted to speak with me.
I am sorry to say that Diego is and was mistaken. I have nothing of consequence to discuss with you.
Then, I guess I should go.
If you would. I have yet to water the garden or mow the lawn, and I must complete those tasks before Master Roman's visit this evening.
I nod slowly. Turning, I place my hand against the door panel to open it when...
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
It's a locked in the room situation. Yes! Well, I mean, outside in the garden, but either way, yes! Now you guys have to talk. Ha! Get wrecked! Said no one playing an otome ever.
The door isn't opening.
This is perfect. I fucking love this trope. Yes!
Not opening?
He passes me by to open the door, but as with me, he doesn't respond to his hand.
You must be jesting.
Who must be jesting?
The universe, clearly.
I think I get it. He lets out a quiet tsk, then turns.
Well, I still have work to do.
I stare as he goes to retrieve the hose.
May I help you?
That won't be necessary.
I approach him smiling. Stubborn as always, this one. He's one of those jealous people who just like get farther away. Like, they're like distance. Oof, oof. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm okay with this. I try to take it from him, our hands briefly touching.
Don't.
I pull away as if struck by an electric surge. Both of us do. The hose clattering to the ground.
Don't touch me.
I'm sorry.
I'm silent for a moment. And in that silence, I hear it. The sound of my heartcore humming just from the touch. Or...
Wait a second.
Oh my god, I'm not ready, I'm not ready! That's not my heartcore. Yes! I'm sorry. Oh. I'm just gonna click the button. I freeze, looking up into Victor's eyes searchingly.
Is that your hardcore?
Instead of replying to me, Victor snatches the hose from the ground begrudgingly.
It is my hardcore, yes.
Okay. No, I did not expect him to just come out and say it. I thought we were gonna get some silence.
I've been malfunctioning around you quite often.
Yo, did you just use malfunctioning as an android like metaphor for like you know when people are clumsy around the person they like and they're awkward as shit? Did you just make malfunctioning that? If you didn't, I don't care. That's not how I'm seeing this.
Since when?
Victor hesitates, turning away to hide his face as he waters the plants. I prompt him again gently.
How often, Victor?
You guys think Q locked the door? I'm seriously trying to think of who locked the door. I don't think Diego would do it, but I think Q might. His voice is quiet.
Ever since you took my hand.
It was so long ago! That was so long ago! Yeah! I gotta come back. I gotta come back. I'm not done with this yet. I touch my lips as he turns abruptly, a scowl on his face.
It is eternally frustrating.
Called love, bitch.
Is that why I haven't seen you around lately? You've been avoiding me, haven't you?
Victor winces visibly. Then he straightens his back and looks me in the eye.
Yes, Alrev. Yes, it is. I have too much work that needs to be done to be acting irregularly. It is unnerving to constantly dwell on your form, thoughts, and feelings, and worry about them. It is incessant, infuriatingly so.
Victor's irritated voice sparks something in me. I can't help my own frustration bubbling forth in response.
If it's so annoying thinking about me, then stop.
He grits his teeth.
I cannot. I wish to, dearly, but I cannot. The way my thoughts function, the thoughts that enter my head are out of my control, because they are not memories, but of indecent imaginings.
Let's fucking go, sure, let's go! Yeah. How about it up here, up here? I'm calling that a win in our book. That's a win.
The only thing I can do is limit contact with the one who ruined everything.
Dude, I didn't ruin anything. I just ruined whatever was up here for you, buddy. I gape at him.
Ruined everything?
No, wrong thing. No. I need you to come back. I need you to come back with me. Data transfer with me so I can give you every fan fiction, every otome, every romantic thing I've ever read, and then I can like we can outline exactly what he means. I got you. I've got the knowledge. You're in the situation. Work with me, Arev. Please don't do this. Please don't ruin this moment. Please don't.
What's that supposed to mean?
Before you came along, my life was routine. It was perfect. But since that day I saw you and Diego,
He shuts his eyes.
now my hardcore speeds up around you, and I feel things that I have never encountered before. Things that are distracting. Things that I should not feel.
I can't help myself.
Like jealousy?
Victor's frown deepens. Oh man, I gotta get closer for this. God.
This is no laughing matter, Alrev.
Laughing is cute.
I have been practicing weaving to make something for the young master, and yet when I am crossing the threads, I am not thinking of him. I am thinking of you. Each piece is a terrible, tangled mess, but I keep trying, because I want to please you.
I fluster, my mouth flapping uselessly. I thought I was bad, but Victor... My voice is soft.
Victor, it's okay. It's okay to feel...
My apologies, but it is not okay. Even when I try to clean to distract myself, I find myself thinking about how terrible you are at cleaning. I am completely inept at divorcing thoughts of you from the tasks at hand, and it clutters my thoughts.
He really does not know how to process feelings whatsoever. Q's voice echoes in my mind. Maybe he doesn't feel jealousy in the way that you do, or in the way that you would want him to. That doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings for you. Well, I did promise to talk to him. It's now or never, Arev.
Victor, have you considered that maybe you are attracted to me?
To my surprise, Victor lets out a ha.
You? An android who can barely do the minimum of sanitation? An android who cannot wake up on time to save her life? An android who associates with the likes of Zaffre?
Okay, I will say, I understand them not liking each other, but y'all can chill out with telling me about that, okay? He shakes his head.
Even if watching your attempts to clean weren't as endearing as they are, even if witnessing that flustered, alarmed expression when I awaken you for the 50th time, and suppressing the desire to smooth down your hair weren't so strong.
Dude, oh my god.
Even if seeing you get along with that nuisance fills me with envy, and even if that hug, that hug with Diego didn't make...
He trails off before looking me directly in the eyes, his gaze sharp and resolved.
I could never be attracted to you.
Survey says that's a lot. The timing of me looking at chat that moment and popping up. I can't help but fight a smile. He wanted to smooth down my hair. He was envious of Zaffre and Diego. This is why Arev and Victor can work. Because Arev, and we know this, she's so inquisitive. She asks questions, she wants to understand things. That's why I think Victor's, because people are in the chat are saying, like, if you love him or you hate him. You love him or you hate him, but the reason why it could still work with Arev and Victor, like, being together is because Victor is very, like, A, B, C, D of why, like, my emotions are this way, but he cannot really, like, understand the emotions themselves. They, what is it, like, I can't think of the word, but it's like looking at your emotions rather than kind of feeling them in a sense. And he doesn't understand his emotions, so he's just saying all these things that he feels without realizing, like, what those things really mean or could mean. And Arev is, like, again, understanding, inquisitive, wanting to get the full picture. We've learned that this entire time. That's why when she's so understanding to him, people are gonna be like, you just like Victor Reaper, of course you're gonna make the connections. No, I think it actually does something good here. We know she's inquisitive, we know she asks questions, we know she tries to understand everybody kind of thing, that she won't just walk away. She'll sit here, find the good, but also, like, keeps asking these questions, which is what Victor needs to lead him to the answer. Exactly. Yeah. Arev understands what he's trying to say. She doesn't get offended easily. That's it. Yes. But we learned that from, like, this whole story. So it's really, really nice that we're not just like, oh, Arev now has these, you know, attributes that totally match with Victor's. No, we've seen it the entire time. Like, we've seen it with her and Zaffre as well. She's very understanding and, like, doesn't get offended by a lot of the stuff that Zaffre says. And again, Q just listening in, she's just kind of like, you know what? I've just now accepted it. Like, hey, whenever I say something embarrassing, I'm just gonna, like, go on kind of thing. Oh. Yay.
Why not? No offense, but that's exactly what it sounds like. That's what...
I hesitate. That's what I feel for you? That's how I feel about you?
That's what I've been going through too. I'm attracted to you as well.
Too many otomes. Victor stares at me. His gaze drops.
And what do you wish for me to do with that information?
Buddy, feel a little okay about it? I pause at that.
I don't know.
When you figure out what you want, then perhaps you can tell me what to do with these feelings. Otherwise, I would like to be left alone.
He reaches towards the door and presses the panel. This time it responds to his hand. He inclines his head.
How long has this been working?
Conveniently, the door panel just came on.
Q. He stares at it suspiciously with narrowed eyes, muttering to himself.
He wouldn't.
He would. Yes, he would. My bestie freaking would. We all know he would. Rome's the Nightmare Prince again, because me and him just like this now, like. Who wouldn't? Do what? Victor reads the question in my eyes and shakes his head.
It's nothing. I'll have Diego take a look at this door lock as well.
Okay, I'll go get him.
Quietly, shoulders heavy with unanswered questions, I take my leave. Oh, we're not done? Oh, we're not. Oh, okay. No, it's been a few days. There was so much good stuff there. Why did that end that way? I mean, good, but also why? It's been a few days since I've spoken to Victor. We pass each other by, but... As usual, we don't speak. This time I stop to stare at him, and to my surprise, he stops as well. The only sound that of our heart course humming steadily in the hall. I wish I had something to say to him, but Victor's question haunts me. What do you wish for me to do with that information? Okay, to be fair, that's a very valid question. JJ, good evening! What did I want from Victor? I love to say I'd like us to be something more, but even I have to admit the truth to myself. What is something more for a pair of androids? You guys are rogue, though. Come on!
That's hot, that's sexy, fucking do it!
Andrea with the gifted sub to Miss Chouette! Oh my god, Andrea, that's so sweet! Guys, can we put some Reaper love in the chat for that gifted sub, Andrea? Why? I don't need a hype chest. For some reason I put another one in there. Aww. That was so sweet. Thank you, Andrea. That chat's so freaking nice. Love you. What's something more for a pair of androids? Again, I mean, they're rogue. I feel like there's options. Before the route goes on further, I'm gonna bounce from the stream. No problem, Tompy. Thanks for hanging out for so long, sweetie. Have a great night. Was Supernova? Have fun. Oh my god. Have a great night, Tompy. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Chat, I'm still in. I'm still going strong. I need answers, okay? With so much on my mind and none of it an answer to his pointed question, there's not much for me to say. To my surprise, Victor speaks first.
Master Roman will be dropping by this evening, so please be sure to clean the kitchen in preparation for Diego. He will be preparing dinner.
I see.
Seems so normal. If not for the sound of his heartcore, I'd hardly be able to tell there was anything different between us. I nod curtly as Victor inclines his head towards me, then passes me by.
What do I wish for you to do with that information? I'd love to know.
I make my way to the kitchen to begin cleaning as Victor requested. Maybe I can look up our predicament online. I mentally open an internet database search window.
Android attraction.
Right away I get results, but... I scroll a little further, but there's nothing more helpful. Most of the results being pretty similar.
All of these results are about human beings attracted to android models. Not so much androids being attracted to other androids. I guess I should have expected that.
I feel frustrated for a moment, but then it occurs to me. I have a house of strange individuals at my disposal. Maybe there's someone I can ask about, well, love and attraction? The first person that comes to mind is Diego.
Diego was nice enough to hug me when I requested it. But I don't know if he'd be open to talking about his feelings so much.
I could ask Zaffre, but I'm pretty sure he's sick of hearing about this by now.
And definitely not Q. No offense, but I can't help but remember his discomfort with talking about his parental figure in a romantic sense. I need to talk to someone completely neutral.
Like brother who's coming for dinner tonight? Klaus? I would, but then I remember how curious he was about my dreams. He seems a bit invested in seeing how all this turns out, if only from a psychology standpoint. An idea starts to dawn on me.
I wonder if Roman would be willing to listen.
The idea seems ludicrous at first. I barely know him at all. But he's sort of the only person I could see having an opinion that might be helpful.
I'll have to ask if I can speak to him.
I start to wipe down the surfaces, scrubbing until I can see my own reflection in them. In a strange way, I can understand why Victor would enjoy cleaning so much. It's kind of stress relieving to work on something and not have to worry so much about the other things bothering you. Like this whole issue with my voice. I stop cleaning to stare at the counter.
Want this?
I try to imagine him being proud of me, of him not feeling disappointed that I love music so much, but it's difficult. It's difficult because I can't help but feel disappointed in myself for how much I love music. It's not like everything we make in the jam session is perfect, but it feels so right. Zaffre's laughter when I get a melody just right, or when I write a lyric that fits perfectly with the melody. Even Victor's song has been difficult to completely avoid working on, since its subject roams my mind without restraint. I shake my head slightly, forcing myself to scrub the counter even harder. Diego makes a small noise, most likely to let me know he's there.
You all right there?
Oh, I'm fine. Why?
I've been passing through here back and forth for the past hour, and every time I see you, you're muttering to your reflection.
I've been here for an hour!
I think the refrigerator, countertops, and floor reflections have all been conversed with.
Oh,
I hadn't realized.
Don't worry, I'm sure you're not the only individual who talks to their reflections.
I laugh awkwardly.
right.
Right.
Well, the kitchen's just about ready for you. I just need to rinse out the sponges and I should be good.
Perfect. Thank you for working so hard, Arev. I've noticed you've gotten pretty good at cleaning.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly in my skill set, but I had a good, if particular, teacher.
Diego nods sagely. I sense the urge for him to say something else, but strangely, he just smiles.
Are you going to watch me cook then?
I'm a little curious, so yes. How do you cook?
Follow recipes exactly and don't deviate. Mustard and pudding apparently don't go together, despite one being tangy and the other being sweet. Human taste buds are pretty particular.
He looks sheepish for a moment.
It'd be nice to say I'm a masterful cook who can experiment, but let's just say my efforts haven't been received well when I deviate in the past, so sticking to the recipes it is.
I see.
Sweet? Tangy? In truth, I've never really thought too much about the human perception of taste, but Diego seems well versed in the subject despite everything he's telling me.
Let me just finish up so I can get out of the way then.
I finished cleaning the kitchen when, like clockwork, the doorbell rings.
Oh, and that must be.
I'll get it.
I make a beeline for the door, my hardcore humming as it slides open to reveal...
Roman!
Sorry. I thought it'd be faster to ring the doorbell than to dig out my key.
You're fine. Come in, come in. I haven't seen you in a while.
Aww. Again, with me putting, like, her and Q as, like, BFFs, when Roman comes to picture, I'm just like, you know, big bro for both of them now. I know, mustard and pudding. Ugh. Diego, baby boy. He looks tired for a moment before waving his hand dismissively and straightening.
Work has been really busy.
I wonder what does Roman... I can speak, it's fine, it's fine. I wonder, what does Roman do for work? Whatever it is, keeps him away from the house pretty often.
Hello, Roman.
Roman offers a two-finger salute.
Dinner duty tonight? What you serving, chef?
Stir fry. Some of the ingredients are from the garden, and not the flowers this time.
Glad to hear it.
I don't want to interrupt, but as I hover awkwardly listening to their conversation, Roman glances at me.
You look like you're itching to say something, Dollface. What is it?
No, not Roman saying doll face. Oh my god.
Can I speak to you? Privately?
Roman lifts an eyebrow curiously before nodding at me.
Sure thing, Alrev. Let's go to the garden.
Thank you.
To my surprise, Roman doesn't say anything when we first come outside. Instead, he kneels down, observing the flower bed with precision. Then he offers his elbow to me.
Let's take a turn.
I stare at his elbow, then draw my eyes to Roman's face.
A turn?
I spin in a slow circle, only to hear Roman burst out laughing.
That's not quite what I mean, Alrev. I'm just saying we should take a walk among the flowers. A little stroll, if you will.
Oh, sorry. I must have seemed really silly just now. When you said turn...
I trail off, feeling so mortified that my heart core speeds up to process the embarrassing moment. Taking Roman's elbow, I step closer to the tall man.
Let's do this.
She's so determined! Roman lets out a chuckle as we walk through the roses on the stone garden path, arms intertwined.
So, what did you want to talk to me about?
I try to think of where to begin.
Well...
I hesitate. Should I be direct? Should I ease into it? I'm not quite sure, but Roman seems willing to wait either way. I look up at him, my pace slowing but not quite stopping.
In a word, attraction.
Roman doesn't miss a step.
Attraction, huh? May I know the lucky recipient?
It's, Victor.
I already like this much better.
An interesting choice.
Right? Everyone keeps saying that, man. My chat's saying it, the game is saying it.
I'm not sure if I have much to say, but I'll contribute where I can. What seems to be the problem? Are you having trouble telling Vic how you feel?
Vic. Wow. I look at my feet.
Not exactly. I didn't mean to, but I did tell him I was attracted to him, and now...
Now?
That's exactly the problem.
I don't know what comes next. I don't know if my feelings are real. Okay, save. I think I made a good decision this time, so I'm just gonna overwrite this one. Yes. Because again, I'm running out of space, okay? I don't know what comes next. I don't know if my feelings are real. I feel like it's I don't know what comes next, because that's the thing, is he kept saying, what would you like me to do with this information? It's like, he wants her to tell, like, him, like, what the next step is? Because if it's this one, that's just backtracking everything. I'm gonna say it's I don't know what comes next. That's right, too, because he's like, what's, like, the future for two androids? I think this one is it. I don't know what comes next.
Now what?
Well, that's up to you, isn't it?
What if... I don't know, though. I thought it was simple. My heart core speeds up around him. I definitely like being around him and with him.
You're right. That actually does seem pretty straightforward.
I would think so from a human standpoint. But from an android standpoint, I don't know what these feelings really mean.
What do you mean by that?
As in, what does an android even do when they're attracted to another android? What do humans do with their attraction?
That's a very open question there, Rev. Roman considers for a moment.
We turn on the chime and let it roll.
I expect nothing less from this man, honestly. Upload and download.
I blink at him blankly.
The charm? What's the charm?
You know, you go right up to the person and you just put your hand on their shoulder and you hit them with the good old, "Hey, do you have time for dinner Tuesday night?"
The voice actor did not need to be that smooth with that line. I'm not gonna lie, Chad.
He pauses.
Roman is so smooth. So smooth.
Though, I guess you don't have dinner since you can't eat. Still, maybe asking to spend time together would work. Though you do spend a lot of time together already.
Maybe doing something together that's not working on the house.
Roman sighs.
Honestly, asking what we do with our attraction is something short of a loaded question, and not really one I can answer simply. But if I can say so, I think you're getting ahead of yourself a bit.
How so?
Maybe it'd be good for you to try and figure out why you like Victor in the first place. If you really do some digging to figure it out, you may be able to convince yourself of whether your attraction is real or not.
My face falls just a bit.
I don't really like looking into my programming.
Even so, it may be a good way to figure things out. If you know what you like about Victor and why, then you can make sure your foundation is strong enough to bear the weight of something more.
Something more?
I want to ask him what something more is exactly, but Roman sees the question in my eyes and crushes my hopes of an answer from him with a smile.
Whatever that means for you, anyway.
I smile back at Roman, stopping in the middle of the garden.
I'll try my best.
Roman pulls his arm away from my looped one.
I'm glad you're discovering new things about yourself, Alref. It's good to see that you're growing.
Aw, okay, that was the sweetest way he could have said that.
Oh, speaking of growing, have you heard?
About how we have not one, but 2 pop stars in the house?
Roman nods, grinning at me.
I have, yes. When's the album coming out?
Album?
I laugh nervously, tucking some hair behind my ear.
I'm not good enough to record an album yet, but when I do, you'll be the first to know.
Good to hear it.
There's a quiet ping from Roman's watch.
Ah, dinner's ready. I've got to run, but I hope our chat helped you.
I grin up at him.
It did. Absolutely.
Great. I'll see you around then.
I wave goodbye at Roman's long frame as Roman's long frame heads back towards the house. Now that I'm alone in the garden, I begin to think.
If you guys liked Roman's route, just for the record, he is in Chronicle 3 with Klaus. Chronicle 3 is Klaus and Roman's, romance options. Diego and Zaffre is Chronicle 2. So, I'm just saying, there's a Kickstarter going on for Belle Automata. You guys want to go into that? Route.
Now that I'm alone in the garden, I begin to think.
What do I like about Victor?
I somehow expect a list to populate in my mind, but of course it's not so easy. Q told me that such things aren't logical, so I guess I'll have to think of it from a physical standpoint.
That's dangerous, Rev, let's be honest.
What are some things that Victor does that makes my heart core go into overdrive?
Carefully, I sit down in the grass. I can almost see his broad silhouette as he taught me how to water the roses. The gentleness in his firm, mature voice, the careful lilt of his hand, and most of all, the way he looked at me, as though no matter how many questions I asked, he would answer every single one until I was satisfied.
I love how patient he is.
Good girl. I think of his attempts to embroider for Q, of his desire to teach me useful skills, of the way he says exactly how he feels. By the time I finish my list, just the memories have my heart core humming in my chest. Good night, Dawn. Oh, get rid of that headache right away, sweetie. Sleep well. Guys, I haven't said it yet tonight, but if you're hanging out with me in chat, I really appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying this, because again, I'm totally into this. But I just appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I stand up, brushing soil off of myself.
It's a bit embarrassing to just sit here thinking about Victor.
But I'm starting to understand a bit about myself, too. And that doesn't exactly hurt. I try to consider what I should do next with this list, with these feelings.
Present them to Victor.
It doesn't exactly answer his question as far as what I want him to do, though, so it might be a hindrance for now. I really shouldn't rely so much on the internet when it's such a human-biased resource, but...
What does it mean when you want to be more than someone's?
I hesitate.
What am I to Victor now?
That's a good question. Victor's not really emotional, so I don't think getting emotional answers out of him is really... likely. Q's words come back to me effortlessly.
Rather than trying to define it on my own, maybe I should just present the evidence as it is and let Victor come to his own conclusion.
The idea is intimidating, but it feels right. The real question is...
How do I make a presentation?
PowerPoint. You can never go wrong with a PowerPoint. You need to do a presentation, throw some slides into a PowerPoint, do some really cool, like, slide transfer animations. Boom, bam, baby. You're there. Get a clicker if you're being really, you know, like, ooh, professional. I have one that has a laser pointer off of it, and it's, like, great to, like... Like I was saying, PowerPoint. That was such a good segue. That was such a good end there. Oh, man. But we're not done. I'm still not done. I got 2 weeks to make up for.
It's taken a few days to both get up the confidence to break our awkward silence and finish my presentation. But when I do, I almost feel giddy as I approach Victor in the hall as he leaves Q's room. Right away, I notice that his shoulders tense at the sight of me. In a way, it's thrilling that I can have this kind of effect on him.
Victor, I need to speak with you.
About?
I don't expect him to answer my statement with a question, so I sputter for a moment, not sure of how to respond.
Well, I have some, evidence that I'd like to go over with you.
Evidence?
His lips quiver just slightly, as though he's about to smile. He doesn't, but I still notice it. Small emotion slipping through his shell relaxes me somehow, and I straighten with more confidence, excuse me.
Yes, evidence. Please meet me in the library when you're finished doing whatever it is that you're doing.
Victor looks thoughtful.
I admit you've piqued my curiosity. I finished speaking with the young master, so actually, I am free now.
Yes. It's my turn to answer a statement with a question.
Now?
Victor simply nods.
If you and your evidence are ready.
More or less. I have a few more things to prepare, but, please follow me then.
You got this, girl. For a moment, I consider taking his hand, but there's a part of me, most of me even, that isn't quite ready to be so bold again. It's fine, though. He follows me dutifully to the library. As he takes a seat, I scan my notes one last time, somehow too uncertain to remember if I've done it before. Victor crosses one leg over another as he watches me silently finish up. Last things last, I press my hand to the computer to upload the presentation in my mind onto the projecting screen's interface.
PowerPoint! Good girl.
It uploads in seconds, and with that, I'm ready. At least from a physical standpoint. I review my notes again when Victor speaks, probably tired of watching me stand in place silently rehearsing to get my nerves out of the way.
So, what is it you've prepared?
Getting there. getting to it!
I jump, almost forgetting the android was sitting there. Alright, Arev. Let's do this.
This is a slideshow about what I like about you.
Slideshow. Told you.
Victor is silent for a long moment.
I see. Why have you prepared it?
I thought it would be helpful to understand where my feelings are coming from, and by extension help you to figure out yours. If we can figure out our feelings, then we can figure out where to go from there, right? So I figured if I explained what I liked about you, it would help you analyze your own feelings.
Victor nods slowly.
I understand. I am ready to listen.
How agreeable he is surprises me, just a little. But I realize that Q really is right. If I want my feelings to come across to Victor, then I've got to communicate in the language he speaks. Logic. I slap my cheeks for energy, then point at Victor.
Are you sure you're ready?
I am. If you would please proceed, that would be fantastic.
I turn on the first slide of the slideshow. It's very basic, but all I need are the keywords.
I like it when you're direct with me. That you always tell the truth, no matter if it's going to sound like something I want to hear or not. Consistency is good for me, and your honesty is always constant. In fact, speaking of consistency, I have dealt with a lot of uncertainty. And I like that you always seem so sure of yourself. Your confidence is contagious.
And think about that.
Contagious? Is confidence a virus, then?
I shake my head at his serious question.
This is a list of things I like about you. I just mean that when you're confident, it makes me feel more sure of myself as well.
I see.
Anyway, next slide.
Unlike the others, this one has just a single bullet point. But I smile at the thought of it. It's one of my favorites, and honestly, it's pretty succinct because it encompasses so much while saying so little.
One thing I like is when you take care of me.
I look down at my hands. I planned on it, but now I feel too embarrassed to expound on the words of the presentation.
Next slide.
To my surprise, Victor raises a finger.
How so?
How?
How do I take care of you, and why do you like it so much?
This is so flippin' cute!
Oh, well,
Ah, so he's intent on embarrassing me anyway.
well, when I first got here, you spent a lot of time teaching me how to do things. You taught me how to garden, how to clean, and you even bought me gardening gloves and cleaned my joints for me. Those kinds of things make me feel, I don't know, like I'm cared for. It feels good.
Victor nods once.
I could hardly let you flounder. I'm not that sort of android.
Again, this is why it's a list of things I like about you, buddy!
I know, that's why it's on the list. I like feeling cared for.
Even though it wasn't the initial intent?
Yep, if you have any issue with it, feel free to make your own list about me. But for now, this is my list, okay?
Yeah, you get him, Rev. Let's go, baby girl. She's learning so much about herself within doing this, and I love it. It's growth. We love growth.
Understood. I'll try not to interrupt too often then.
Victor listens steadily as I go down my list, only stopping my presentation to ask the occasional question, or in some cases,
I like it when you give me tasks to do. It makes me feel like I have purpose whenever I feel uncertain about what I should be doing with my time.
So, you'd like more tasks to do. Understood.
not that far.
No, I'm satisfied.
You're satisfied with reasons to like me?
The smile's back. Yes, I love this smile of him. I love. Okay, like, can I just cut that? Just cut that out and put it on the wall. Put it on the nerd shelf, please. You'll be very happy with the other husbandos, waifus, and partners. I promise.
It's only then that I notice his smile, flickering on and off his lips like a flame.
Are you teasing me?
If that is what you wish.
Dang it, dude!
I fluster for a moment.
I don't mind it. No, in fact.
It's the next reason on my presentation.
I take a moment to flip through my mental notes.
Slide 45. Slide 45 says,
Victor looks at me expectantly.
it says that I don't mind it when you tease me. And that, actually, I like it a bit.
Why?
Because it's another side of you. A side I don't get to see very often. And it's a bit special because you don't do it with anyone else. From what I've seen, anyway.
I look at him directly, biting the edge of my bottom lip for a moment.
It's not in my presentation. But seeing different sides of you is the thing I like the most, Victor. Those rare times when you emote or show me what it means to be a rogue. I like those moments about you most of all, really.
Victor falls silent, thinking.
All Rev. I
Knew it! I knew it!
There's a knock on the door. Zaffre pokes his head through the doorway.
I heard voices. Am I interrupting?
A little bit, sweetie. I need you to turn around and go out. He was gonna say something.
always.
Victor's quip is so quick that I don't have a chance to react to Zaffre's question, looking at him in surprise.
But honestly, I should be going.
Zaffre looks surprised.
You don't have to leave on my account. I'll be as quiet as a butterfly.
If only. All Rev, I will process this information and do as I see fit with it. I think I understand how you feel. May I have a copy of this slideshow?
I nod slowly.
There's about 15 more slides than what you've seen.
15?
Yes. I like you a lot, after all.
I reach out for Victor and he takes the tips of 4 of my fingers delicately in his. As Victor pulls away after the data transfer, there's a tickle in my fingertips that I didn't notice before. I wonder for a moment as Victor begins to leave. He stands in the doorway beside Zaffre and inclines his head towards me.
Thank you for this presentation. I learned a lot about how you view the world, and I am pleased with what I've learned.
He glances at Zaffre, then back at me, the stiffness in his posture telling me that the mask has returned.
Goodbye.
With that, Victor leaves Zaffre and I alone in the library. I knew it! I knew it! We were so close. I'm not gonna blame Zaffre. But I might just blame Miss Chouette. I'm not gonna lie. I might blame her. Oh, I don't know if I read it, but I'm reading again. With that, Victor leaves Zaffre and I alone in the library.
What was that about?
I grin cheekily.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Zaffre blinks at me in confusion.
Yes, I just asked.
I mean that I'm not telling you, Zaffre.
Aww.
I let out a laugh at his expense.
Now, why don't you tell me what you interrupted for?
No reason. I just,
I look at his fiddling fingers.
You were lonely again, weren't you?
Aww.
Zaffre groans.
Know me too well, Bluebird.
I smile at Zaffre for a moment, but my smile fades as something occurs to me.
Zaffre?
Hmm?
What are we?
Friends! Why?
It just occurred to me that you're my first friend, Zaffre.
I throw my arms around him in an embrace, this time not at all as awkward as my hug with Diego. I guess when Zaffre asked if I wanted to be with someone who is mean to my friends, he meant that we're friends, but what can I say? Some realizations don't come as quickly as they should. Zaffre's arms snake around my back.
Okay, that makes up for the interruption. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of makes up for it. I love friendship.
What?
I bet old stuffed trousers would be real jealous if he saw us right now.
Immediately, I recoil. I am not doing deep cleaning again.
I've, gotta go, Zaffre.
Huh? Was it something I said?
Yes, it was.
Later. I'll see you later.
With that, I turn my back on my friend and hustle out of the library as quickly as I can. Okay, it's almost 11 o'clock, but I want to do one more section, okay? I can't stop. I don't know why. I'm addicted, okay? We'll do one more section and then I'll call it. Maybe. The next day, I'm in the garden about to water the plants when I hear a quiet humming behind me. I turn out the sound of a familiar voice.
Hey, Diego?
Rev, hello. I heard the hose burst, so I came to replace it.
Thanks. I was just about to begin watering. That would have been an awful surprise.
Diego nods as he begins to wind the hose up. I take a seat on a botanical rock as I watch him work, thinking. Zaffre is definitely my friend, but Diego? I wonder what we are. I stare at him curiously, wondering what he'd say if I asked him whether we were friends or not. Knowing him, he'd answer bluntly, so if I asked, I might hear an answer I don't want to hear. Diego glances at me.
Is there something on the back of my head?
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering.
Are we friends? I want to ask him, but in reality, I don't know if he'll say so as readily as Zaffre did. Diego's a mystery to read, and as such, I can't help but wonder what he's really thinking. Does he really always feel like smiling the way he is now?
Rev, you keep stopping mid-sentence and staring at me. Why? Do you want to ask me something?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? You're pretty confusing when you want to be, huh?
I don't mean to be. I just,
I trail off. How can Diego's smile be more intimidating than Victor's straight face?
Sorry about that.
Diego shrugs with a brief smile, then goes on to start replacing the hose with a new one. As I wait for my seat on the rock, Victor exits out into the garden.
Greetings to you, Diego. Thank you for replacing the hose so promptly.
He turns slickly on his heels to face me, his expression serious.
Rev, I've been looking for you.
His words surprise me. Looking for me? Why?
Why?
I was just thinking, do you?
He looks me up and down.
What is it?
Do you need my jacket?
I just want people to know that I snoozed the ad so that everyone could, whatever happens in the next 5 minutes, I wanted everyone to be available for it.
I look at his overcoat, then down at myself.
In the case of chill or rain, perhaps.
I look at the bright sunny sky, then back at Victor. He stares at me so intently that I do feel a measure of compulsion. But even so, I can't imagine taking his jacket for no reason.
I don't think I need it, Victor.
Are you certain?
Yes?
I see.
It is a little warm out here, though, and they don't want to overheat.
I turn to Diego as he works diligently.
I'll come back, so can you let me know when the watering is done?
Diego flashes a thumbs up without turning.
Sure thing.
I turn to open the door when Victor stops me.
Wait.
Sorry, I had to read it first. I'm sorry.
Passing me by, he walks to the door and presses the door panel to my great puzzlement. Waiting for me to pass through, Victor bows courteously.
I bet he has gone onto the internet and been like, okay, how do I in some way, he Googled how do I be a gentleman? He's literally doing all the gentlemanly things. I'm in. I'm in. This is it. This is the way. This is the way to my heart. This is the way.
Mademoiselle.
Sir, I can't. No.
What did you call me?
It's...
He's trying so hard. Oh my god.
A compliment?
Well, no. It's not a compliment. It's...
I frown.
An insult?
Rev, work with me, baby.
It's merely a title.
I look at him in alarm.
A title? Are you giving me a new job?
New job? No, not at all. Don't mind it so much, Aurev.
I blink at him. Both his words and actions confuse me. After all, I could just open the door myself. I was standing right beside it after all.
He has looked up like gentlemanly manners from like a human point of view.
And why did he call me Mademoiselle? What does that even mean? I start to do a quick search for the definition, but Victor is still holding his hand against the door panel, waiting for me to walk through. Instead of looking it up, I choose to thank him instead.
Thank you, I think. But, Victor,
Yes?
nothing.
I don't want to embarrass him by asking him a bunch of questions in front of Diego. Still, I've never quite been so puzzled as I am right now. When I go inside, however, thankfully, or surprisingly, Victor follows. I turn on him as soon as the door slides shut behind us.
What are you up to, Victor?
Nothing that should surprise you.
I stare at him, even more perplexed than I was before.
What do you mean?
Slide 37. I like it when you do little things that show you're taking care of me.
He has like memorized the slideshow or it's in his brain. Either way, I'm in.
Slide.
I gape at him in shock.
You did those things because I said I liked it when...
I trail off, suddenly feeling too embarrassed to speak. Victor stares at me for a moment before shutting his eyes.
I thought to please you, but I have misassessed, it seems.
That is pleasing. Okay, it was a bit strange. Okay, saving because I'm scared. I think I'm good. Yes. That is pleasing. Well, it is a bit strange. I mean, it's only strange because she doesn't know. Whereas you guys and I were like, okay, technically he's holding the door open, and Madden was like, it's fine, I think that is pleasing. I'm scared. I'm scared and I feel alone right now. That is pleasing. Yes, I'm doubling down.
I'm pleased.
Good.
We stand there awkwardly, avoiding each other's eyes. Victor going from caring about what I thought of him to full-on wishing to please me is quite a transition, but certainly a welcome one.
Do I ever please you, Victor?
Excuse me?
I said,
I heard what you said. I am merely surprised at your line of questioning, though I ought not to be, I suppose.
Okay, so now I hope he's not gonna do this thing where, like, he only aims to, like, please us and, like, doesn't really allow us, like, the same opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, we gave him this long list of things that we like about him, and some of those things are, like, things he does for us. It's like, I also want that list so that I can also, you know, return the feelings, you know?
What makes you ask?
my own curiosity as usual.
I cannot be certain, but I believe your curiosity is, well, embarrassing me. If you do not mind, I will not answer that question.
He smiles vaguely.
For now, that is.
Cheeky. He clicks his heels together suddenly, then stares me in the eyes sharply.
Wait here, if you would.
I nod slowly in agreement, taking a seat on one of the couches as he disappears up the stairs. While I wait, I tuck some of my curls behind my ear, trying not to feel too sheepish. I should have realized before that he was literally going to put the list into practice. That's gotta be a good thing though, doesn't it? Being attracted to Victor isn't all bad if we can find ways to enjoy each other again.
Rev, hey, I'm all done in the garden.
I stand abruptly. I'd completely forgotten Diego was outside replacing the hose.
Did you muster up the courage to ask me what you were thinking about before?
Not even slightly.
Sometimes it's like that, I guess. Well, know that whatever it is, I'm here to help in any way I can, within reason.
In that case...
Diego, do you consider us friends?
Diego looks at me in surprise.
Friends? Us?
He looks thoughtful for a moment.
No, not really.
I mean, fair enough, though. I wince. Exactly as I thought.
But we're not exactly strangers either. I would classify us more like peers or colleagues.
Oh, I guess that's not terrible. Still, do colleagues hug each other?
That's a good point. Maybe not then. I guess we are sort of friends. We don't spend much time together, but if you feel comfortable enough with me to consider me a friend, then go for it.
Somehow I get the feeling that his kindness is just that. Kindness. But I can only hope that he does at least like me enough to not find me a nuisance.
Sorry, were you hoping for something more?
Something more?
Does Diego know that step I'm missing? The step beyond friends for an android? That step I still don't quite understand? I open my mouth to ask what he means when Victor returns.
Victor, welcome back.
Thank you, I suppose.
He supposes? I wonder at him for a moment, noting his strangely secretive posture. His hands behind his back, the stiff expression on his face. He stares at Diego with a strange expression.
I finished replacing the hose as you asked me to.
Thank you.
Victor stands there awkwardly, his feet not so subtly shifting weight from one side to another.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
I chime in worriedly, wondering what's up with him.
Victor, are you sure? Because you look kind of...
Rev.
I'm fine, just...
He shuts his eyes, then opens them suddenly, walking towards me with determined footsteps.
Diego, would you leave us, please?
Oh? Why? Am I in the way?
A little, sweetie. He grins as he says the words, but Victor's reply is nothing but serious.
Yes.
I gape at Victor's directness. If anyone could take it, it'd be Diego, but still. The impact of his words surprises me.
Oh?
Victor reaches out and to my great surprise, puts his arm around my shoulders. Oh, okay.
Immediately, I wonder where he learned this behavior. Was my slideshow so effective?
Oh. Well then, I guess I'll just be going. See you two around.
Okay. Diego gets hints, okay? Was that really a hint though? I feel like that was like just like a very obvious like leave please.
He makes a quiet humming sound as he goes. The sound surprisingly happy for being kicked out of the living room.
See you.
See? He definitely looked this up online just like a Rev did. I know. We know.
I chuckle a little bit awkwardly as Victor glares down at me, dropping his arm from around my shoulders.
Victor?
I suppose I should give an introduction, but you know my communication style is rather straightforward. So without further ado, this is for you.
For me? What is it?
He slowly pulls his hand from behind his back. In his gloved palm is a small embroidered keychain of a cat. It's attached to a large silver loop, and each crooked, painstaking stitch of fur pierces me directly through the heart. Its paws, ears, and its small little crooked tail. It's all so lovely.
Victor, you.
I am well aware that the quality is subpar, so if you have any criticisms, feel free to let loose.
I love it. Shut up. I love it. I can see the mistakes as plain as day, but I'm still in disbelief that Victor made something for me.
You really made this for me?
I did, yes.
I think it's excellent. This is supremely good craftsmanship for your first completed piece.
Victor stares at me for a long moment. When he finally speaks, it's in disbelief.
Excuse me?
You did well.
But look here. This tail isn't curved perfectly, and the eyes are uneven, and surely you notice...
Victor.
I echo the words he once said to me in a daydream, feeling a bit shy about revealing them in the first place.
There's no shame in knowing your limitations.
These two are literally just like mirroring each other. He's so cute. He's so cute. I don't know. I don't know what to do with these moments. Victor looks at me with a surprisingly subdued expression, as if musing on my words.
Have I acted in error then? Should I...
I look at him in concern as he trails off. Then I remember that he actually cares about what I have to say, what I think of him. His complete thought confirms my imaginings.
Should I have stopped while I was ahead?
No, that's not what I mean at all.
Letting out a sigh, I take the trinket in hand.
Just because you can't do something perfectly doesn't mean it's bad. I was trying to tell you that if you know what you're capable of at any given stage of creativity, you should take pride in it. The best you can do is the most you can ask for, so be proud of this.
I smile gently as I stare down at the cat cupped in my jointed fingers.
I certainly am.
Victor seems to be too busy musing on my words to reply, so I take advantage of his silence.
I know it's a cat, but what is it for?
I poke my finger through the silver loop.
Ah, it is a keychain for you to hold your keys.
We gotta go buy some keys, chat. There was a PowerPoint. She did good, and I think he memorized it. There was indeed a PowerPoint. Welcome back, Aaron. I look at him a bit strangely.
I don't have any keys.
A drink. Victor smiles. Oh.
Are you certain?
He reaches into his pocket.
This is for you.
He pulls out a flat silvery rectangle.
It's
The master key. It contains the codes to every lock in the house, including that of the young master.
That is so much trust in a very short amount of time.
Okay, baby boy, next thing we're gonna work on is self boundaries, okay? The keychain was fine. We could have found some keys. I'm concerned about you.
In case of emergency.
Okay, fair. Okay. That changes things. Okay.
Victor. Does this mean...
But I don't need to finish my question for once. I know exactly what it means. He trusts me.
That was the thing. is I want him to trust us. I don't want him to feel like he has to go to this level to like prove that he likes us. Does that make sense? I want it to be 100% trust. I look up at him for confirmation to see a look of pride in Victor's eyes and stare back up at him. Whatever it is I want from him, I hope he always looks at me like this. I look back up at him and smile.
Thank you, Victor.
Victor inclines his head and turns away, leaving me to trail behind him with my eyes, key clutched in hand.
Okay. I'm gonna save in some of my last empty slots, I know. And that is where I'm gonna call it tonight. Chat, can you do me a favor and say goodbye to YouTube? Ooh, as I decompress that. Okay. So we're going like super cute now. We're just going super cute, which is fine. I don't know. I was like, when he didn't really know his emotions, I was getting like daddy vibes, and now I'm getting like, now I must protect you. Like, I don't know. I love both. But it's such like, it feels like such a change because Victor's trying to understand himself. Ah! YouTube, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to like hear like all my talking after like the VOD ends, you should come check me out over on Twitch, where we do Frisky Flirty Friday every Friday. Links are down in the description. We'd love to have you guys over here. And with that, I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.